Namaste. Welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam, or KYG as we all know it by now. Wish you all a very blessed and blissful Navrathri. 9 days of intense personal spiritual practices that will help us go inward to our divine self, the primordial Shakti that resides within us. So we have been very busy preparing the Devi Khadgamala Puja videos for this Navrathri. We will not be doing anything live because I noticed that there is a difference in time zones when for people in India, people in the US, people in Australia and Singapore and so on. And that always left a sense of dissatisfaction for those who could not join live. And therefore, we are making puja videos. We're going to be uploading along with this video itself. We're going to release at least some of them, and they will all be available for your 9-day practices. So please choose your time and use these videos to practice during the Navratri. Hopefully you will find them helpful. They're all based on the Sri Devi Khadgamala Chant that we spent a couple of years learning and studying them. So it has been our greatest good fortune to be able to do this. It was a challenge to how do we bring that digitally, at the same time give it a very deep spiritual experience for somebody watching a video. I do not know if we have done justice, but Maya and I have done our very best to bring to you in as comprehensive a manner where a meaning is displayed, words are displayed both in Sanskrit and English. You have a digital version of the Sri Chakra, you have the actual Sri Chakra and the puja going on as well. So I'm hoping and praying that you all like it and will use it for your continued practice, not only for Navratri, but following Navratri as well. What I want to do in this video is just take a series of questions rather than just me speaking continuously, because I think we have received quite a few questions in the past 2 or 3 weeks related to the puja and related to the Devi Khadgamala. So I want to take one question at a time. So let's take the first question. What is the essence of a Sri Chakra Puja ritual? All right. So a very valid question. Why are we doing these rituals? If we know Devi is within us, then it is so easy, right? So there is a difference between being a philosopher, being a scholar, and being a sadhaka. Sadhaka means one who practices. So there is a difference. They can all be together. You can be a philosopher, you can be a scholar, but it will be incomplete if you don't have a spiritual practice. Sri Chakra ritual, especially when it becomes a practice. And I want you to look at a Sri Chakra here. This is not something mystical and out there in the universe. This is a representation of your own body. That's what it is all about. And so when we do this, we are actually beginning to understand the psychic energies, the spiritual energies, the divine energies that are in our bodies, that help us perform our everyday tasks. But they are not just limited to that. They are available for us to exploit in its fullest potential. The very same energies lead us to our divine self. So how do we take this journey from the body? How do we take it deep inside to the very center of the Sri Chakra? If you notice, the center is the highest self. Devi resides here. So how do we enter this? How do we go through all of these? That, as an everyday practice, keeps you in that awareness that my body is a temple, my mind is sacred, my thoughts are sacred, my environment is sacred, and therefore it will not only help you with a great sense of self-esteem and self-respect, but it will help you in bringing this practice to a very spiritual level, and you will experience the Devi within with the divine grace. It's not possible without that. And so therefore, a ritual becomes important. All of us need a ritual. We have a ritual of taking bath every day, the way we brush our teeth, the way we sit in the sofa to watch TV, the way we sleep on the bed. Everything is a ritual. Without rituals, we can't function. So it was in that same context that this was introduced. Why don't you make spirituality as a practice, as a ritual? It becomes spiritual when it is mindfully done. If it is mindlessly done, then it really doesn't get you anywhere. If you hire somebody to do a puja for you, it doesn't get you anywhere, except a superfluous sense of feeling that I did something. But if you sit down and learn this with patience and practice it, then it leads you to a direct divine experience of the Devi within. And therefore we have the practice among yoga practices, along with yoga practices, asana practice, pranayama, meditation, or whatever else you're doing, a puja ritual has its own significance and power. So that's why we do these rituals. Let's go to the next question. Do I have to be initiated to perform this ritual? I think that is a great question. Do I have to be initiated? I have received so many messages with regard to this. I have not been initiated. Can I do this? Can I have a Sri Chakra at home? Can I do the Devi Khadgamala Chant? Very briefly, the idea of initiation is where a teacher or someone who practices it explains in detail to a student or someone who is interested in learning every aspect of the Sri Chakra. In this case, let's focus only with Sri Chakra. They explain everything. What are these 4 gates? What are these 3 walls? What are these 16 petals? What are the 8 petals? What are the 14 triangles, 10 triangles, 10 triangles, 8 triangles? All of these. What are these energies? What do they mean to us? How can we use them in our application, in our spirituality? That kind of learning was not available to everybody for a long period of time, because you had to go in search of gurus who lived in ashrams, perhaps in the forests a few hundred years ago, and sit with them and learn. And therefore, that idea of being initiated fell into a tradition. These days, you have these lessons available to you in the form of books that are available. Teachers are plenty today that are available to teach you in detail. We have at KYG produced the 60+ classes for your benefit, just with this point in view, that once you learn this, then let the Supreme Devi herself initiate you into this practice. Open your heart and have a direct connection with the divine. Please listen to me. There is nothing wrong if you sit at the ritual and learn it from these classes, understand and begin to practice. Saying, Devi, you initiate me. You're talking to the cosmic, direct, higher self, the primordial Shakti within you, and say, you initiate me. I don't need anyone else to initiate me. I've done my best to understand, and now you further guide me in my understanding. And watch the magic happen. So as far as formal initiations are concerned, if you do still feel you have to get initiated, by all means do get initiated, but you don't have to. I don't believe it is necessary. I've had the experience of practicing this on my own, if you will, but of course nothing is done on your own. It is all part of divine grace. The fact that you're sitting with a Sri Chakra in front of you or watching a video, please know that it is orchestrated at a very high level, and therefore you're already being initiated by the Supreme Shiva and Devi consciousness. That's my 2 cents on that. So let's go to the next question. Where can I find these puja videos? All right, so we have a Sri Devi Khadgamala Satsang playlist. You'll see that in the ticker below in this, as I'm speaking as well. As part of that playlist, we'll be listing all these puja videos. We might even have a separate playlist. I have not decided that yet, but you'll definitely find it in this particular playlist on our YouTube channel. The name of the channel is KYG Yoga. Please go to that channel, and there are so many playlists, so many satsangs. They're all categorized. Go to the playlist section and you'll see the playlist. Then you will notice in each playlist, they're all categorized from lesson 1 to lesson 50, 60, or class 1 to class 50, 60, whatever that is. So please go there and you will find these puja videos also listed. And you can subscribe so that you'll be notified as and when we put some more videos out there. All right, so let's go to the next one. Why are there 9 pujas on your playlist? So, the Devi Khadgamala chant is about our journey into the Sri Chakra. And the Sri Chakra has 9 gates or 9 avaranas. So you have the first gate here, then you have the second gate of 16 petals, the third of 8 petals, the fourth is 14 triangles, the fifth is 10, 6th, 7th, 8th, and the ninth. Okay, so there are 9 gates to each of this. Now, each of these gates, unlike what you and I will do in a physical dimension like this, like if I want to go into a fort which has 9 gates and the queen is inside, if I want to go, I cross one gate, leave that gate behind, I go to the next gate, leave that gate behind, next go to the next gate, right? So when I'm on the 4th gate, then the first gate is left behind. That is how we generally understand it. But in Sri Chakra practice, what happens is you first learn about the first avarana. Avarana means a sheath. Okay, we call it a gate, but it's a sheath. It's a dimension. Then on top of that dimension, we enter the second avarana. So the first puja is about puja of the first avarana. And keep doing that first avarana till you understand it well, till you memorize the chants, till you know who goes where, how many siddhis, how to do the mudras and offer the flowers. So all of that you will see in the puja video. So once you understand that, then what you do is, then do the first avarana, which is the second video in the playlist, first avarana and second avarana together. Then the third video is first, second, and third. So what you're doing here, in your consciousness, you're building a meru. A meru is a 3-dimensional version of the Sri Chakra. This is the actual version of a Sri Chakra. Sri Chakra is flat, so you think you're going like this linear. But no, each dimension is built on top of the other. So you first learn about the first dimension, which is the base, the bhuloka. Then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. And each one rests on the other. So 9 videos. Each video builds on the previous video. So the first video will be first avarana puja. The second video will be 2 avarana pujas, first and second. Third video will be 3 avarana pujas, first, second, and third avarana. And thus you will have when you come to the 9th, you will be doing the Navavarana puja, the complete puja. It doesn't mean that when you are in the first, you are incomplete. It does not mean you are at that stage understanding it. And so it is a delightful practice to do this as a 9-day practice every month. And we'll come to that. There's a question with relation to that. You can do it as a 9-day practice for a few years. And then when you understand it completely, then you can do the 9 avaranas, which is one complete puja, starting from the first avarana, leading all the way to the 9th avarana. It is with that context that we had to make 9 pujas so that it will help you learn, it will help you practice it as a spiritual sadhana. And so therefore, we have 9 pujas in the playlist. Let's see the next question. How often can I do these pujas? Could you suggest a specific date or day? I've been asked this question again many times. So here is, let's start, what's an ideal situation? A Devi sadhaka, one who wants to take this as a main practice and let everything else revolve around this. What do? On the bright half of the moon, starting from new moon day, like today, that's why we are introducing it on this most auspicious night of Navrathri, where the Navrathri is going to begin from tomorrow. So, on the new moon day, you begin the first avarana puja. And therefore, on the 8th day, you will end with the Navavarana puja. So, new moon day is like 0, and the 8th day of the moon will be like number 9. Correct? You're not starting on number 1, you'll start on 0, which is the new moon day. So this will be on the bright side of the moon, bright phase of the moon, the waxing phase of the moon. So every month you have 9 days that you can devote to these. Now each of these pujas range anywhere from, the first avarana will be 25 minutes, then the second avarana is about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So the Nava avarana comes to about 55 minutes or so as we have recorded it. So it builds because each day you're adding one more avarana to it. So 9 days. So this is an ideal way to do it every month. Now if you don't have time, then choose 1 day a week. Maybe every Friday you take 1 avarana of your choice and do the puja. So the first puja can be a few Fridays. You can just do with the first video, the first avarana. Then you can come to the next time and do another video which has a first and the second avarana. Take it every Friday and do this. Or you can do every new moon. Every new moon, you can do the Navavarana puja, all the 9 avaranas. The point here is there is no good and bad day, especially for this puja. There is no good and bad time for this puja. This puja makes the day good. this puja will make that time good. So don't look for a good time to do this puja. This puja has such a powerful cleansing effect that it will cleanse your home, your day, your time, your environment, and your very situation in life. However disastrous or disappointing it may be, this puja has the energy to cleanse it. That is because you're calling upon divine energies within you. And therefore, you are not the victim of a time or a day. The time and the day begin to get cleansed because you're invoking the highest energy. So bottom line is you can choose, but have a sense of commitment. Don't do it as they say, in whims, as it pleases. Some day you'll do it in the morning, some days in the evening, some days, oh, I didn't get a time. If you move it around just because it's inconvenient, then you're not giving it respect that it deserves. You're not giving your higher self respect that you deserve. And therefore, it just becomes what we call a ritual, a mindless practice. Mindfully, once you commit, there will be a period where you'll give it and try, okay, does it work in the mornings, does it work in the evenings, and so on. But there will be a particular day in a month, or 2 days in a month, or 3 days in a month, or one every week, maybe the 8th night of the moons, the Ashtami, where you want to dedicate, or the new moons, every new moon you want to dedicate to this puja. You come up with that practice, and you will be guided to do either more or less, or however suitable. So know that you're calling upon the highest possible energy when you do this puja. Hopefully that clears your question. Let's go to the next one. What direction should I be facing while doing this ritual? Just in continuation with what I said, there are really no particular restrictions, but there are very beautiful practices that have come as traditions. So the best tradition is face east, ideally. Why? Because the sun rises from the east. So when you face east, at a very unconscious, subconscious level, you relate to awakening, you relate to rising. Even though it's not conscious, your house may be facing north or south or east, or it really doesn't matter. But when you sit mindfully to awaken something within you, and you face east, then at a very deep level, you're relating to the nature that also causes the sun to rise. From our perspective, it is the east. The sun really doesn't move, but then it creates a perception of rising. And therefore, facing east is a good direction. Now, for whatever reason, if you cannot face east, in India, especially, you can face north. For those of you in India, Sri Lanka, because when you face north, for most of India at least, you're facing Kailasa. Kailasa is considered where Shiva resides. That is the home of Shiva. So Shakti finally merges into Shiva. In this whole puja, what is happening is she goes finally and sits in the bindu is both of them here. This is Kailasa right here. So she goes and sits on his lap and becomes one with him. That is her journey. That is the journey of our self, right? We awaken the self, and finally the merging happens in the Sahasrara, and there's no coming back. So you can face north, face Kailasa, and do this. Now, if you want to face Kailasa and you're not in India, you're, let's say, in the US, then face east, maybe slightly, depends on where in the US you are. You can face slightly southeast, if you will. So you're facing Kailash mountain, and say, I'm facing you where you reside. Correct? That energy, there is an energy there in the Kailasha mountain that is undeniable. I haven't been there. I hope to be called one day. But that is an undeniable energy that pulls us, especially for those of us who embark on this kind of spiritual rituals. So you can either face north or east. These are the two good directions I would suggest. But again, those directions don't apply universally. If you are abroad, like where I am now in the US, I face east or southeast, so that I'm looking at both the sun and Kailasha. It works both ways. So that is how we place our lingam at home as well, and we do the puja as well. So, next question. What are the essential items required for this puja? What if I do not have a Sri Chakra? I think that is a great question. You don't have to have a Sri Chakra, and especially such a big one like this. I have done this so that it becomes clear for those of you who are watching a video or a puja. You can use this as your Sri Chakra. Now, if you don't have a Sri Chakra, I've put some items here just for you to consider. There is a simple statue of Devi that you could have in front. And as you watch this puja, you can offer flowers to her. If you don't have a Devi statue, if you have a Shivalinga like you see here, this Shivalinga is Devi and Shiva. She has entwined herself. The base of the lingam is Shakti. She has entwined herself, and Shiva is there, stoic, consciousness. He doesn't move. He's the Purusha. The Prakriti entwines herself. So Purusha and Prakriti are already here. So you can even use a Shivalingam if you have at home. If you have a Meru at home, you can do that. Or if you simply have you can print a small picture, download it from the internet, keep it there, and you can print it and offer flowers to that so that your mind stays focused. If nothing, keep a picture of your guru, keep the feet of his guru, or whatever you think reminds you of divinity. If you have a crystal that you wear, if you have a Rudraksha like this, like you wear, keep it there and say, this is my divine energy, I'm going to worship it. And then wear it. So the item there is not as important if you do not have, but if you do have, then make use of this. One thing is, you do not have to have a Sri Chakra. You don't have to have an essential thing. However, mentally, you have to be tuned into where exactly is this mantra placed in the Sri Chakra. I will place it on the idol, but where is it placed? I have to be clear in my mind. And that is why we formed the video. When you watch the video, you might not have a Sri Chakra. You might just simply have, let us say, a simple chain that reminds you of divinity. But when you're watching it, you will tune, this goes into this corner of the Sri Chakra, right? And therefore, knowing where it goes, you're offering it to your divine idol. You don't need to have a Sri Chakra. If you have the place, then print a nice one and enjoy the practice of placing flowers. But if you don't, it really doesn't matter. What really matters is how focused you are, how attentive you are, how mindful you are to each corner. Because that goes deep into our unconscious and begins to change who we are. That's the beauty of this ritual. So, let's go to the next one. How could I practice using the puja video? So, it's again a good question that is going to come up, and therefore I put this question out here. In the puja video, I actually offer puja because we use this very same Sri Chakra. This is a 3 feet by 3 feet. I cut it, put it on a copper plate. We sanctified it, and then we did the whole puja in this. So basically, I place it on each corner, like a rose will go here, or a rose will go here, or whatever the flowers we have, we put it with different flowers. Now, when you watch a video, you can also mentally offer that flower which I'm offering. You can offer mentally, join in offering that flower. You can take a few pieces, a cup of rice, if you will, and mix turmeric, and that becomes like gold rice, right? It reminds you of gold. So you say a little bit, I want to offer it to the Devi. You can offer vermilion or kumkum a little bit in your home. You don't have to come up with a variety of flowers. You can, of course, if you want to, and being Navrathri, if you want to celebrate this, you can, of course, use different flowers for different avarnas as you're watching the puja and say, okay, now I'm entering the 4th avarna, so let me today offer a rose along with the others, change it to a daisy maybe. So whatever is available is perfectly okay. Now, in the video, for example, there are a lot of mantras where we are addressing Devi right in the center. The Deva Gurus, the Manava Gurus. If you watch my Devi Khadgamala videos, you'll know it. A lot of the energy goes right into the center. If I start putting flowers in the center, and especially in the video, what's going to happen is it's going to cover the rest of the triangles. So what I do in the video is, I go right here, place it in the center, meaning that this goes here, but technically goes here. But however, I'm going to offer it to the Devi. Then I place it at the feet of the statue. Then I go to the next one, again, because there are 8 Deva Gurus. So every one of them, I go touch in the center. So wherever it is supposed to be placed in the center, in the puja video, you'll see me placing it like this and placing it to a side. Only to explain that this goes here, but since there is no place here, I'm going to put it, ultimately it reaches this as well. So you will learn it as you watch it. The first time you watch it, it might seem a little too much, like driving a car. There's too many things going on the screen. But be patient and watch it a couple of times, especially when you go from one hour to the other, it becomes quite evident as to what is going on the screen. And so that is how you follow the video. in the puja, and so that there is no room for confusion. So let's go to the next one. How should I place the Sri Chakra? Wonderful question. I have again received this quite... it's very simple. If you focus right in the center of the Sri Chakra, there is a triangle that is facing downwards. That triangle, downward facing triangle, should be pointing towards you. Okay? So, and if you count from that triangle, there will be, including that triangle, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When there are 5 triangles, the 5 triangles faces downwards towards you. There are 4 triangles on the other side. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 triangles face away from you. That is how you align the Sri Chakra for the puja. The 5 triangles represents the Shiva energy that comes towards you underneath all of this. And the 4 is the Devi energy, the Shakti energy. We have touched upon all of this in the Devi Khadgamala classes, so please watch them as well. And so you will get more and more enlightened when you know why and what are you doing and why are you doing these things. So Sri Chakra is ideally placed facing you. In other words, the innermost triangle faces the down portion of it, the pointed part of that innermost triangle faces you. All right, next question. How do I go to a particular section of a puja quickly if I need to learn that section? All right, so what we have done here is if you go to the description of every video that is there on YouTube, especially the puja videos, we have put what is called chapter markers. So for Nyasa, if I want to do the Nyasas, if I want to do the Anga Nyasa and the Karan Nyasa, for example, there are sections for each of these. Certain times when you're doing the puja or learning about it, you might say, oh, you know, that part I'm not clear. I want to practice that mantra a little more. Then you go down to the description of the YouTube video on YouTube and go to that chapter markers which are there and just click on that time link and it will take you straight to that video. So you don't have to scroll right from beginning looking and get stressed because there's a lot of things going on in a puja. So we have created chapter markers. Please make use of those chapter markers if you want to learn. But don't create shortcuts in your puja. In puja, just go from beginning to the end. All right, next question. Do I have to chant along? What if I do not know these mantras? Another very good question. You don't have to chant along. You can listen mindfully. You can attempt to chant, but be aware of mistakes that you might make and say, okay, that was too big a mantra. I have to learn it. And so you make a mental note of it. And then practice it another time. Learn to chant these mantras because there is a lot of bijaksharas, there are a lot of seed energies that sound, sound is so important. But sound, whether you listen or speak, is more or less the same. In fact, if you listen, it's even more powerful. So if you can chant along, there is nothing like it. So you are bringing your voice along with the voice you hear on the television and you're joining in. So the entire sound energy gets blessed in you and begins to create the realities that spiritual reality. Now, if you cannot, for whatever reason, then don't get stressed. Chant the first 3 bija mantras that we do. It's actually 6 of them, but it's 2 sets of 3. Aim, Hreem, Shreem, and Aim, Kleem, Sauhu. If you listen to this a few times, you will learn this. So you simply say only the bijakshara mantras. That contains the essence of all of the other energies, which are only description of that particular place. But the beauty of that mantra, Aim, Hreem, Shreem, Aim, Kleem, Sau, Aim, the energy is generated when you chant that so many number of times during the ritual. So at the very least, you can at least chant those bija mantras or the seed mantras, which is simple for anyone and everyone, irrespective of which culture you come from, Western, Eastern, it really doesn't matter. It's simply Aim, Hreem, Shreem, Aim, Kleem, Sauhu. That's all it is. So chant that and perform the puja along. It is a do along, a practice along video. You can sit back and watch, but you can also most welcome to practice along and do the puja along with the video. So you're doing a puja in your house and you're doing everything, you know exactly that you're doing it the right way, you're doing it the correct way. There is no sense of, I don't know how to go, I don't know what to do. So now you have a puja for you that you can do along. Let's go to the next one. Could you briefly explain the bija mantras that prefix every name chanted in the Sri Devi Khadgamala? So just now you heard me chant these mantras. Aim, Hreem, Shreem. This is one set. Aim, Kleem, Sauhu. This is one set. What is the difference? Both of these, the similarity is both of these talk of the three primordial qualities of the universe. The three gunas, if you will. The sattva guna, the quality of creativity. The tamasic guna, the quality of fulfillment. So one is creative ideas, one is fulfillment of those ideas. So sattva and tamas. In the middle is rajas. Rajas is that which helps us to get from an idea stage to fulfillment, right? So there is a cosmic version of this. The primordial energy of Shakti is, she embodies these primordial qualities, Aim, Hreem, Shreem. So that is the cosmic aspect of this Devi. While that is a beautiful and powerful mantra, we need a one-on-one with her. We need a personal touch with us, with this cosmic principle. And therefore, we chant Aim, Kleem, Sauhu. Aim, Kleem, Sauhu is understanding that cosmic energy within me. So one, Aim, Hreem, Shreem is about the macrocosm, the cosmos. Aim, Kleem, Sauhu is about the microcosm. And therefore in Aim, Kleem, Sauhu, you are invoking the Shakti, the Devi, the Kundalini, however you want to understand this, as a small child. That is why the description is like she is as red as the rising sun, because that is the only part of sun you can actually see. Otherwise sun becomes too bright. You can't even see the sun. But you can see him when he is just rising, as bright, as red, as beautiful as the rising sun. So you're calling upon this cosmic energy in a manner that you can understand, you can comprehend. Aim, Kleem, Sauhu is that magic mantra that begins to awaken the Devi in a manner that you can understand, comprehend. There is no fear. But you do that with the understanding that this is a cosmic energy, not simply a small microscopic energy that I'm experiencing. So there is a link between the microcosm and the macrocosm. When you chant Aim, Hreem, Shreem, Aim, Kleem, Sauhu, Namastripura Sundari Namaha. So that is how it goes. The idea and the beauty of these bijakshara mantras in very briefly explained to you. Let's take one more question. What should my mindset be while doing this puja? I'm going to take this as a last question because I wanted to end this with this last question. Should I be asking something? I got a message. Should I be praying? What should I pray for? What should my mind be? What should, in Sanskrit the word is bhava. What should my bhava be while I'm doing this? To me, honestly, the way I practice is a mindset of gratitude. Just thankful. I cannot ask this cosmic energy of something. This energy that orchestrates the entire universe knows why I am, what I am experiencing, why I am experiencing what I am experiencing, where I am in life, why I am there in my life, in what situation, and everything is perfectly orchestrated. I believe that. And I know that everything happens for the right time, for the right reason. And therefore, my heart allows me to only thank. I cannot tell this invoke a cosmic energy saying, you know everything, and then tell them what to do. Tell Devi, you fix my problem, give me my job, give me more money, or give me something, whatever it is that we ask for. Then that just simply shows that I don't trust, at least from my perspective. And therefore, my mindset is always, thank you, thank you, thank you. An attitude of gratitude. Because then the universe gives you more opportunities, blesses you with abundance. So from your mouth, only thank you will come. From your mind, from your heart, there is a deep sense of gratefulness and gratitude. May we all embark on this 9 days of this intense spiritual journey with that mindset of simply thanking the universe for giving us an opportunity to explore this body, this breath, this mind, and a little bit of this vastness that we call the inner spirit. Thank you for watching. Once again, have a blessed and blissful Navrathri. Namaste.